Video. I want to get a little personal with you and share kind of my story, like why the hell BIRTHFIT? So, when I grew up, my mom, she was a mover and a shaker. She opened a few businesses, sold a few businesses. She was quite the entrepreneur. So that's where I get my business, my work ethic from. Through my sciences, through my schooling, through my experiences in life, I realized that our society is kind of fucking up the way we do childbirth, the way we care for a pregnant woman, the way we help women birth. I wouldn't even call it help, which is why I'm stuttering over my words, but the support that our society offers for women during labor and delivery is just kind of shit. A few years ago, I was working at a sports rehab type place in Santa Monica, and I was the only female chiropractor at the time. And so by default, I would get most of the pregnant women, women that just had a baby, women that were thinking about having a baby, just that kind of, the things that guys were really uncomfortable with, which is fine by me. So when women started to talk to me, they started to ask me questions. Some of my clients became pregnant. Some started with me during their postpartum period. So I would just look up tons of information. I was straight up, always honest with them, like, hey, I don't know anything about this, but let's find out. So during that time, I began taking some ICPA diplomat courses, seminars, doing the whole program there, and I just started reading a lot online. I also traveled a lot at the time for work purposes, so I would have some opportunity to read on the road, read when I was waiting to either go on set or to go to work at a certain time. So I had downtime or like chunks of time where I could read, which was super beneficial to me. So that's kind of where my journey started. I would say like 2009, 2010, and I just started reading a ton of stuff. The more I read, the more I realized that I was scared to have a baby in this country. I was scared to have a baby in California. I dove into the research and I realized, just as maybe a year or two prior that I had realized within the nutrition world, that there has got to be a different way, a better way, just more options. There's got to be a better way. So just as with anything in life, I'm going to do exactly the opposite of what everybody thinks. I couldn't just get my chiropractic degree and go work for a chiropractor I knew or move back home and work for chiropractic. I had to really stir shit up. So I started a blog, and this blog became known as BIRTHFIT. BIRTHFIT. It's a movement. It's one word. It's not BIRTHFIT. BIRTHFIT. So I decided this because it's progressive, and I always want it to evolve. That's why one word, exclamation points, we are continuously evolving. If you remembered the brand in the 80s called Gotcha, that's one of the best logos or one of my favorite logos, and that's kind of where I got the progressive, keep going, BIRTHFIT type logo from. But I started to get feedback, and that feedback was from women all over the United States and the world. And some of the feedback would be like, hey, I really value the information you're putting out there. I thought about whatever you said, this little phrase during labor. I was able to continue exercising with your support or with your guidance, etc. I never said I was a prenatal, postpartum expert, but I've always been honest with people, no matter what subject matter like I'm talking about in life, is if I don't know the information, I'm going to help you find information. We're going to look up stuff. We're going to like filter through the shit that's out there and find the truth. That's why I started BIRTHFIT. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a different way. So through BIRTHFIT evolved this methodology or this way of taking on your pregnancy, your birth, your postpartum period. And just like as I preach whenever I coach or whenever I am working with patients in the office, I want you to have an active role in your health. And more specifically, I want you to have an active role in your pregnancy. Because if you are not actively making decisions, big or small, things will slip right by you and you will be taken advantage of. I promise you. And I know that's a harsh reality. I wish so much that once you become pregnant, this country takes care of you, emotions, physical body, mental health, all of it. But this country does not. That's just the realities of it right now. And the information that we put out through BIRTHFIT is from our whole team of BIRTHFIT, because I want to give you all avenues of information. I know that maybe myself and maybe my BIRTHFIT affiliate in Dallas may not agree on the same thing, but we're going to respect each other's choices on this small community scale that we have, and we're going to practice what we preach so that it can bleed to a bigger community. Now, the information we put out, we try our damnedest to make sure it's presenting both sides. Because if I am not providing you information, if BIRTHFIT is not providing you information, then I don't know who is. And it could be somebody that's heavily bullied, heavily paid out, that is being bought out to present some sort of biased information. So, yeah, I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm gonna do what I do to live it out till the day I die.